Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. This is one that impacts all of us. You've got records and they're skipping. What the heck is going on? Perhaps you're new to vinyl, or perhaps you're old to vinyl and have never figured out how to solve this problem. It's something that is fixable, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. You're not going to want to miss this. Whatever you do, don't do this. I don't care if that's the way you used to do it. I don't care if that's been going on for decades. Stop doing that immediately. Never, ever, ever, ever do it again. These use what's called a ceramic cartridge. They're cheaper to produce. They output a line level signal. They don't require a preamp circuit. And for beginners, this can get the job done. But these are designed to operate with heavy tracking forces. And that's why you'll usually see them tracking anywhere from 4.5 to 5.5 grams. And as long as they're under 6 grams, they won't do any overt damage to your record. I mean, it seems like the logical thing to do. You know, the record player is skipping. You put more weight on the tone arm. It pushes down harder. The problem is this will damage your records. This will damage your stylus. This will damage your cantilever and bend it back. You don't want to do that. Let me show you something. So if I take this scale and I set it to 0, put our stylus on, 5.5 grams, and then I'm going to put 1 penny, just 1 penny on. That takes us almost up to 8, 7.7. And if I put 2 pennies on, we're already over 9. And 9 is the most conservative number of the maximum tracking force a record can withstand. And a lot of people think it's way less than that, like 4.5, 5.5 tops. A lot of people think that even 4.5, 5.5 is going to damage your record. So take that with a grain of salt. We're already at almost 10 grams. If I put a third penny on there, it's almost 12. So do not, under any circumstance, please do not do this. I'm going to show you a completely safe, it's actually very good for your records, way to fix skipping. And it's simpler than you may think. It will not cost you anything in most cases. So let's get on with it. I'm going to use this Victrola suitcase player as an example. So let's go ahead and place a record on there and make this thing skip a bit. So if you're getting that effect, that's something we don't want. That is skipping, and it is easily fixable, especially on these types of units. Okay, this first trick I'm going to share with you is going to fix 99.8% of skipping issues out there. And again, you don't need coins. You should never do that. Forget about coins. We're not going to talk about that anymore. We're never going to do that again. If you want to sign a pledge committing to avoiding that practice in the future, feel free to do so in the comments down below. But this fix will pretty much fix it all. And all you have to do is take your finger and push down right here. So let's take a closer look at this and see what exactly is going on. When you raise and lower your tone arm, you're using this little lever right here. And that actuates a piston that goes up right underneath this piece of plastic into a locked upright position. And when you release it, the tone arm descends. The problem is a lot of these units have a very sticky and thick and somewhat dry lubricant in there that impedes its ability to fall naturally with gravity pulling it down. And that's all it relies on. There's nothing pulling it down other than gravity. So what happens in a lot of cases is it doesn't drop down all the way. As you can see, there's a little gap there. If you look right there, there's a little bit of a gap, and that shows that it's not all the way down. And so what happens is it hangs up, and the tone arm isn't fully down and causes the record to skip. So we're just going to press down on that fully. As you can see, now there's no gap, and the tone arm is resting with all of its weight as it's designed on the record. That will fix most skipping issues.
You're watching Record-ology.
Another aspect that is important, perhaps somewhat less than what we just showed you, but does play into it slightly, is record care. and turntable care as well, specifically the stylus. You want things clean because dust and grime and grit and a dirty stylus can impact skipping. So you want to make sure that you keep things clean. Might I recommend this soon to be released exclusive Record-ology brush kit that comes in this box set. There's only 20 being made and sold. They will go on sale September 1st in our eBay store. So if I open this up, we have a carbon fiber brush, and we've done videos on these brushes before and how to use them. But basically, keep your stylus clean, keep gunk from building up on there. And then also the record itself, you want to give it a good cleaning with a brush like this. So just very gently dusting it every time you play, just gently dusting it. I clean the stylus and the record itself before every play. Now, another thing that can impact it is physical vibrations. If you don't have a record player with built-in speakers and you have one with external speakers, definitely keep those speakers on a separate surface. You would not want to put them on the same surface as the record player. Again, portables, smaller units like this, they're designed to work with built-in speakers, not an issue. But the vibrations from big speakers can cause an issue. And the same thing goes with your footfalls as you walk around, as you're dancing to that record and you're pounding around, it's going to cause skips. Okay, if you have a higher end turntable system, this may be the ticket, although it is a bit more expensive. So this Technics changer, this SLB5, is very hollow. It's very lightweight, actually. You take the aluminum platter off and you hold it in your hands, you're like, wow, it weighs nothing. So there's resonance properties because of that. You want your turntable's plinth, this part, to be as solid and heavy as possible because the weight and the solidity of it helps minimize resonances and vibrations that can cause skipping. They can also impact audio performance too. So this is one solution. This is called an isolation deck. So it's literally, this is the Fluence one, by the way. It's literally, in this case, matched to the Fluence RT81 Plus that I have. Although that deck alone doesn't need it, but this one does. So it's kind of a mismatch, but it works for me. It's a solid, weighted, heavy MDF board, finished in whatever finish doesn't matter. But the point is, it's got good, soft silicone feet. It is stable. It is heavy. So footfalls and vibrations are less likely to translate up into the turntable and more specifically into the stylus. So if you were to put this on this surface without the isolation base and, smack the bass, you would hear skipping. It would, you'd hear the resonances. The turntable is somewhat microphonic, meaning that even, touching and tapping and scratching sounds can translate up through the system. This helps deaden that. This puts a barrier between, and in comparison, you would notice that there's a lot less of that going through when you use an isolation base, which is really good. I would say this is more for situations where if you had to have your speakers on the same surface as your turntable, or you wanted to minimize footfalls, stomping around from impacting skipping and sound quality as well. Taking it a step back from that, and certainly less expensive, are investing in silicone feet. Hudson Hi-Fi has multiple sizes. These are two of their smaller ones, or medium-sized ones. They make them much larger and smaller, different shapes and sizes. Some come with peel-off adhesive backs, and that's a good way to add some good isolation as well. If you had a massive skipping problem, this would not be my first go-to. Always the first go-to is the first trick I showed you. Second go-to would be a combination of cleaning your stylus, cleaning your records, making sure you have a good stylus that's not bent or damaged, and then look at possibly adding an isolation base or something along those lines. All right, my friends, and that's going to do it. A friendly reminder that you're cordially invited to join our membership program. Our $1 membership program gets you all kinds of cool benefits. We've got some new exclusive icons coming out for members, as well as the usual exclusive content and other perks. Also, another reminder, September 1st, our box sets, there's only 20 of them, go on sale. So if you want to get yours, make sure you're on our eBay store on September 1st. That's the only way to get one of those 20 boxes. And the boxes are the only way to get those 2 exclusive color adapters. And once these are gone, they are gone. We may never offer them again. So I would recommend it. The brush kit alone is worth it because it's super cool, as you saw in this video, and it does a great job. Anyway, my friends, there's a lot going on, as you can tell, a lot more fun things happening. Did you notice we did a podcast the other day, just for the first time ever? Something we've toyed with, talked about. Rather than make a huge deal of it, we just put one up to see if people wanted to watch or listen, I should say. And if that's you, definitely check that out. It's just a casual 15-minute conversation. Our first episode, posted this last Wednesday, was sort of our origin stories about how we got into records. My friends, that's going to do it for today. So happy record hunting. We'll see you next time.